ma le be me hong, o 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 ma le be me, o ma le be me hong, o ma le be me, ma le be me hong, ma le be me hong. Oh, ma le be me hong, oh, ma le be me hong, oh, ma le be me, oh, ma le be me hong, oh, ma le be me, oh, ma le be me, oh. Como to je je va tam je je ba de ba bo so na de de ye de je je la sa da lo do ma no ja je de ge ve ge so le do je je la do na je de ba je je chi la sa da lo do le do la ya do la ba da la ra de ge je ga da ba yo de ge de la ya sa da lo do je de la na ra da ma ba me la de ga ba 방원로바 저완로 바가지 로만놈라서 와데 미치지 잡아라래 가서 다제 그냥 라서 조금 뭐던 제배하다 라면 잡아서 와데 어서서 동아 저다 저는 나서면 뭐 좋아지라 심지어도 저도 다지나 담아 추진는 다다서 이거 주로나 바람 보아고 쉬리 애들 보아고 쉬는 또 다다 리와진 시간 또 사지의 시간 또 사지의 시간은 이 지우고래 진단들이 리와진 시간 사지 시간 담들 찍하고 있어 사지바 마토로 찍고요 말이 그래서 버드는 시간 아주 장매와 요는 그때 당시에는 라신스랍 치와 대화시 시간송 그들이做的 와서 탈게 동시에서 봐 가만 참이 되면 니는 하자더니 와서 나버는 이렇게 하는데 동고도 봐 그 공식이 치고 거기서 봐 니는 하더니 병 남이 그런 사람을 봐 사와요 얘네한테 또 가서 말이지情况没把有讲的啦，那个啥鸡巴嘛都芥末特，你芥末特别了的那叫身体盲切的你说什么呢？动作有的看有讲，这里我那就是你说什么的，如果嘛的，我那大学的你说什么的呀？没看着我那边，小区就是没看着我，上几人出来的，人家的那找不到我说那的，我那你们不得就是三个月的。그래서 와서 말했더니 hlap받는 내 성성도 등에 있는 야와가 등에 성성 세상 같은 게 등요 사트고요. jak시제 반응이 사게 답이게 zir나 들 대답을 차들 등 나서서서 세상들 뭐 철. 들 세상들 맞아 버렸다 등에 야와가 다 제도 우선 샘티 드시대 때문에 되는 말이에요. 랑게 세상들 랑게 좋을 거고요. 베테타베 대회는 산지와 밤에 그 산지에서 동서만 몰아서 왔다 줘봐버리 참 장미 봐라 까빠 장미 봐라 소소지들이 마음 잡는 데와 진심한테 답이 오래
So, Madame, friends, this morning we are talking about the poem and the Pure Land of Dewa Chen. And so now we have said that in order to be born in Dewa Chen, it is most in the Pure Land, it is most important to develop trust and believe in that faith. And also it is said that all the other Pure Lands that exist, even though there are many countless precious Pure Lands that exist, it is extremely difficult to be born there for most beings. Unless one has attained the 8th Bodhisattva Bhumi, one cannot be born in those other Pure Lands. And so therefore, actually Dewa Chen is the only one that is easy to take birth at. So it is said that this is a Pure Land where it is easy to be born in, and the blessings of this Pure Land are great. All of that is explained in the prayer of Sukhavati or Deva Chen, composed by Kama Changme. And in there, with great compassion, he explains the various benefits of the Pure Land and how we can envision it, and different levels of practice and so on. But what is most important to understand about it is that there are countless Pure Lands, but unless one has attained the 8 Bodhisattva Bhumi, one cannot be born there. And most sentient beings fall into the 3 lower realms. And so now, normally we look at the lower realms as something undesirable, but actually the 3 lower realms are not necessarily something negative. If you know how to view them correctly, you would see them just more like a hospital or like a surgery center where surgery is performed, which also in a way is an enlightened activity of the Buddha, because often when our sickness is very severe, then it has to be taken out through more invasive means. And so here in the hell realms, for example, the afflictive emotions are like purified or taken out through those more fierce means. And so now we have said that the lower realms, especially hell, is the manifestation of anger. And then taking birth in hell is just like undergoing a surgery to take out this illness. And normally, for the most part, we are not really aware of our own anger in our own mind. And also, we often say that we have to take birth in hell for as long as the anger is there, and when that anger becomes exhausted, then we are not born in hell anymore. So it is not quite like that, because we must actually do something to liberate our anger, because hell is nothing but the projection of our own anger. So we cannot just wait for its exhaustion, but we must actually do something to liberate it. And so the Buddha Amitabha, before creating this Pure Land of Devachan, he supplicated to limitless Buddhas and made offerings to them. He traveled to limitless Pure Lands, and for many limitless aeons, he accumulated merit and made many prayers to create this Pure Land of Devachan, which was then finally created. So the Buddha Amitabha accumulated merit for many countless aeons, and his aspiration was thinking that I want to create, there has to be a Pure Land where sentient beings can take birth if they only pray, if they only give rise to faith in it. We need such a Pure Land, and if such a Pure Land will not be created, then also I shall not attain enlightenment. And only if such a Pure Land can be created, only then may I attain enlightenment. So that was his aspiration, and the Pure Land of Devachan then in the end was created, and he became the lord of that Pure Land. And then all the other Buddhas toward whom he had made offerings praised him for that accomplishment and found that this Pure Land is very unique, since any being who only prays can be born there. And this is really what actually then was created. And so then all the Buddhas of the 3 times, they rejoiced in the creation of this Pure Land, because even though there are many Pure Lands, that is, Devachan is the Pure Land where beings can take birth only if they pray. And therefore they called it the most supreme of Pure Lands. And that is why in the beginning of our prayer to take birth in Devachan, there is this word emaho, and it means how wonderful. It is this emaho, this word is something like a peace flag in this world, like a flag that shows peace, and it represents the endorsement of all the Buddhas who have praised the Buddha Amitabha for creating this Pure Land. So that is why the prayer always begins with the term emaho. So then in this prayer to take birth in Devachan, this aspiration of Sukhavati, it explains that there is this Pure Land in the western direction beyond limitless worlds in the western direction, there is this Pure Land. And so, and this Pure Land, this land, is just like a world like our world. And so now this term limitless actually also it is often explained, understood in a scientific way. How can we understand or explain incalculable or limitless like that? Like in the old days, seems to have been like a counting kind of system. If you have this this huge bird that you pluck out its feathers, and then once you have you plug out the feathers one by one until all the feathers are plucked out, and then it's like a huge bird. And so then when you've plucked out all of the fine little feathers, then you have one measure called limitless. So then there's limitless of that limitless. And so now in the old days, this is how it was explained. And so also nowadays, when science is investigating the universe, they can in some approximately talk about this endless universe. And also they speak about all these light years beyond this world, limitless, so and so many light years, unfathomable light years beyond this world. There still are other worlds and world systems and planets and so on where beings live. So also science actually explains it in somewhat similar terms. And also those examinations by science are also the nature of wisdom. And that wisdom is the Buddha. As we have said, that everything that is done in the field of knowable things in this world is done by the Buddha. So we can also understand with our own intelligence, therefore, that there is such a place somewhere where we can go. So perhaps some scientists don't really determine that there is such a Pure Land of Devachan, but in general, the way they explain this infinity of this universe and the light years and so on, many world systems, is very much in agreement with Buddha's explanations. And so now, if we now look at it, then the way we can understand the existence of the Pure Land is that it is really a quality of bodhicitta. And by understanding the quality of bodhicitta, we can understand that a Pure Land can actually be created. And likewise, hell is a creation of anger. And that is something I myself really trust greatly. Maybe I have not been able, if you ask me, I have not been able to decide or determine for sure that it is exactly that kind of behind so and so many world systems, there is exactly this place. This is not really how I personally think of it, so it might be or might not be. But what I really fully believe in is that the Pure Land is a manifestation of bodhicitta. And it is because that Buddha had accumulated a bodhicitta for such a long time that this Pure Land was created. So it is the outcome, the creation of bodhicitta. And if one makes an effort in that, therefore one can also create that. For example, within the human world, even if you have just some bodhicitta, you practice generosity or morality, at least to some extent, as a result of that, you will find a precious human body and all the other qualities of the higher realms. All happiness and resources come from that, ultimately arising from bodhicitta. And if even all of these great enjoyments can arise from bodhicitta, if bodhicitta becomes really vast, then it really makes sense that it can create all these qualities in the Pure Land of Devachan. So I tell people that there is this Pure Land of Devachan because I myself really fully trust in that, even if it is not from a scientific perspective, but it is a quality of bodhicitta. And so therefore, even if you're not able to engage in any other practice, if you just give rise to trust in karma and faith in the three jewels. You're free of any doubt. Your faith in the Buddha Amitabha and the Pure Land. And even if you can't do any other practice, if you just chant, for example, the Buddha Amitabha's mantra your entire life, then at the time of death, there is no need to think about much. If you just remember the Buddha Amitabha at that time, then certainly you will take birth in his Pure Land. So that is something I almost can say with a guarantee that you can take birth in Dewa-Chen.
다만 숨을 쪼더니 로지니 사지 샷gat을 소말이 그리고 밤에 또 맞아 잡은 또 때라서 봐 사지 밤에 배용신을 배용을 때라서 왔다면 남사데 사지 좀 뒤지게 소말이 그때서 뭐 동강이나 그래 뭐지서 사지 밤에 콜로지 자오 그 기와이를 들갑들이 사지 샷gat을 롱보 그런 잡지들제 대답을 지야지 그 공부자고도 루모에 지야지를 지갑이 답책침보 들이다들이 공나기 주지자시 종어들 seb지를 패마다 되어서 왔다지 못하면 이 모나 똑같이 지서트는 사지 종들이 되게 다시 감대와지 용진장 사지 밤이다 사지 샷gat을 받는 죄와 대를
So who was actually explaining the benefits of this Pure Land of Dewa-Chen? It was actually the Buddha Shakyamuni himself. And the Buddha Shakyamuni explained the benefits of Amitabha's Pure Land in the various sutras. For example, the Amitabha Sutra and then other sutras with instructions to a king and so on. And the reason why the Buddha shared these benefits, taught on the benefits of Amitabha's Pure Land, is because a long time in the past, the Buddha Amitabha was born as a wheel-turning king. And at that time, the Buddha Shakyamuni was born as that king's minister. So they had a very strong connection, the king and the minister. So they shared a very strong samaya with each other. And together were upholding, ruling the kingdom according to the Dharma and benefited many sentient beings. And so then the Buddha Shakyamuni recalled the power of their aspiration and the accomplishment of Buddha Amitabha's Pure Land. And so for this reason, he explained the benefits of the Pure Land of Dewa-Chen. So that is the connection of the Buddha Shakyamuni and Amitabha.
강년이 지나 사섭선 나와니 뭐람 때문에 내가 강로 때문에 생각들이 제가 조들이 사삼체는 지리들의 jettin로만이 이 사지가 밤에 우스트 봐 대대문으로서 온 거래 사회에서 좀 지내서 지내서 시아자 사용의 jettin로마처럼 jettin로마서 자서 그래서 다 가시게 조막간 못 듣는 데를 못 듣는 데를 대말 십지가 장단 양박에 jettin로마 들이 요래 십지 장단 양박에 지내서 요래 장가만용을 때는 대다더니 다리 십지 대식인 거 강조를 하기는 뛰네 십지는 잡아매 봐 하고는 요래 동남고 되면은 맨날 고도고 대바라지나들이 사지가 삼다 십지 삼십 맞도 왜 대체로 장만고 요래 들이 jettin로마 장가서야 요말 지내서 당시 들이 지내서 jettin로마요 다 지내서 버리 jettin로마 보모리잖아 레테 에는 공이하더니 들살았더니 것을 받아보니 요가리 들이 대회라더니 들질라더니 제타가 jettin로마다 지내서 나마 니들 사탑게 야면 니 차요래 대회는 니 차라야 되지 타토되는 니디 주상체 저는 코와정을 때 들고를 들자라 된 타통 니서메바 니메바 통통을 했더니 니서메바 통통을 상계 배로 따고 차로 차 tam통은 차로 차라다 차로 tam통을 가가래 좀 다른 코와를 돌들 차로도 시원한데 tam통이 좀 빠차 세다 거기들이 들자라 들이 pomo니요나 그때에는 타통을 깨내서 제대로 많이 속당 제마 쏘치고 말에 강리 니지라서 그래 들자가 생기나 다지 조래 유모바 제체도 왔다 유모바 들자라 다지요에 대비 들지들이 사바된 힘지래 대비는 다 들자는 로아를 좀 탐지 나리들이 뭐서 들자 탐지 쭉가를 안 지서 들자라들이 탐바반 내대 직장이야 말에 들자 선지 탐지 내가 로버를 말이면 다톡 사지 라면이 별로 최초로 작반한 게 선을 대자로 살모다는 센티도 해지고 총도성 들이 라나 돌아 지야 돌지요와 하고네 들 다낭되는 고속부여래 대회는 라포 뭐 옆가도 어떤 사들 사이벌 차도 유매 이 가지고 사실들 내가 말이지 제가 사실 바사에 뒷바사로 고소를 다 요리 인요리 때라 야포체를 고소한 것은 몇째 과리 야 가오지는 야 페다 야 마가를 내봐야 땅 때도 뒷바사라 내가 때다면 20을 하라더니 제발이로 말 자가 탐지 싫어하는데 즉대 슬라탐지 사바된 니지라도 그래 슬라가리를 타토를 사지 샘도 좋으래 사지 샘도 가지 사촉생을 사바된 니지를 슬라냐서는 우르가 타토 우르 더업지 바지 라게 나디 처럼 나오는 시절에 라왕 토고래 대적으로 사바된 니지 사촉생 속지 못 줄이라 되니 우리 라스라테리 때문에 무시적 전라서가 내가 용량들 남제 용들에 전제로 용지는 되니 삼바다 현재 줄지라 고다 님몽메 바데 투다 시장들 왔대 다왜 차 슬라트제 사람으로 때 삼바다 현재를 고고요래 그 산지 대화지는 돌아 오 세비도 핑고 서비스로 되게 이제세네 그 대화지는 고고요래 빼는 대화는 뭐 대상제바 하고 그러나 그 람만을 말해 대회는 도포산제 진피심을 좀 좋다 레지 뭐인 참제 진피심을 통하래 대화는 진피심을 통하래 그래서 소소로 진피를 좀제 용들이 다 도저히 대화 용도고요 대나기 싸웠다는 그래서 남미께 거래 남미께 bak을 대 농람대 이 이를 소소로 저요래 된 소장체는 빼야볼 짓을 돌는지 생경번함을 제시해나 대화지 뭐람대 야도야도로 그 잡들이는 저 트리테라는 용 로미셔가 가게가 로치 못한 적이 때 용은 오 내가 진짜 관계 때로 요살이 따들어 사지요 밤에 요살이 따들어 쳐야 고요살이 자지요 셉들어도 타만만 나도 다 윤체로 왜 스마치 못 잡아요. 들이 당가라서 혹시 안 할때 오피스를 때다 들이 대탐지 고 탐지네 속고를 때다 랑 다상지 자고를 때 용디 있을 때다 이 셉들이 대를 살아서 사바던 이제 대라고 줄은 좋고요. 대줄은 좋을 때는 하지 그들이 샵 참나들이다. 셉지는 이제 샵 차리다 셉지는 이제 제요래 대 탐지에 존재들 가능하면 있잖아. 들 받치고요래 들 슬라과지 때 저서 내가 지금 뭐는 따로 용지나 포함이 제고 내가 지금 저한테 뭐는데 로장지 들이는 로도 봐야 다 같이 로고 오 포하자고 로슬람 가리 오다만 야야야 땅아 라만으로 땅아 나부터 땅 로초초래 들이 잡도 마셔 들이 땅을 로초초를 빼세 잡을 때는 랑랑 이 치고가 싸와서 점라들이 맞추고요 그래.
And so now, whatever deity we practice, now from a practical perspective, whatever Yidam deity we practice, then Yidam is practiced on the basis of the twofold bodhicitta. And on the basis of that, if we pray to take birth in Dewa Chen, we can truly take birth there. And so in general, amongst the different deities, we often consider Taram and Chenrezig as the principal deities. Also, they are explained as emanations emanating from Amitabha's hands, explained in this prayer of Sukhavati. So in there it is said then that from Amitabha's right hand, 100 billion Chenrezigs emerge, and the same number of Taras emerge from his left hand. And so there's countless, limitless of emanations of Tara, for example. Often people ask, now which Tara should I practice? Should I practice white or green Tara? Actually, they may see a contradiction, even that there to be a contradiction between the two Taras. And actually, it really makes no difference, because it is said that there are Taras and Chenrezigs as many as there are sentient beings. So don't think about them in terms of numbers. All sentient beings possess Buddha nature, and therefore just naturally, Tara and Chenrezig are never really separate from all sentient beings. So actually, all the Buddhas and sentient beings are always one. On the relative level, we speak about many numbers, but we should not really think about their numbers. For example, Chenrezig and Tara also appear in male and female form. So we think that one is male, the other one is female. And now, relatively seen, that is true, but it is because those to be tamed in this world are male and female. And corresponding to those individuals to be tamed, the deities also manifest in similar forms, male and female. That is why all the deities appear often in Yab-yum aspect. There's always a duality, a pair of two, of male and female coming together. But then ultimately, the point is the point of being tamed. What is ultimately achieved after being tamed is that ultimately all dualistic grasping has to become purified, because it is those dualistic phenomena that create samsara, and that is what needs to be tamed. So ultimately, we practice the deity to see the non-duality of self and others, and such a mind is the Buddha mind, the non-dual mind. So now first there are ice blocks floating in the ocean. So for the time being, it seems that there is a difference, a separation between the ocean and the ice block. But then in the end, when you become liberated from samsara, that ice block is melting into the ocean and merges indivisibly. So for the time being, because those to be tamed are male and female, Tara and Chenrezig also appear. But ultimately, we should not regard them in terms of numbers and so forth, or gender and male or female and so on. What's their ultimate nature is actually their mind and not their physical manifestation. And their mind, the nature of their mind, their intention is that of compassion. And that is how they tame sentient beings, because what needs to be tamed in sentient beings' mind is self-grasping. That is the root of all the 84,000 afflictive emotions. So because that which is to be tamed is self-grasping, that which tames it is love and compassion. So it is also said that even though we call them those to be tamed, those sentient beings in the 6 realms of samsara, actually they all have the nature of nirmanakaya. In truth, there is not a single ordinary sentient being at all. They all are nirmanakayas, because they are only temporarily obscured by temporary stains, but their ultimate true nature is enlightenment. So we can think about it like that. Sentient beings are just like ice blocks temporarily. And so if we understand that, then you know that already your own suffering is somewhat lighter if you only understand that, and that is because you know that ultimately one can attain liberation. I myself can become liberated, and also others can become liberated. And so that understanding is really the starting point of a pure perception. Now we should not focus too much on a deity's outer appearance, the color and the shape and so on, male and female, and also should not think that there is some kind of a competition between the deities, thinking that if you practice one, the other will be offended. Because if that would be the case, they would not be wisdom beings, they would be worldly gods. And worldly gods, they still have a self-other dualistic perception. And for this reason, sometimes if you please them, they will help you. And sometimes if you offend them, they will harm you. They're just like normal people. But the wisdom deities are not like that. The mind of the wisdom deities is the same. It is said within the expanse of primordial wisdom, all the Buddhas are one. All the deities are a manifestation of love and compassion. And for this reason, it doesn't matter which deity you practice, because the mind is most important. The mind of bodhicitta, love and compassion. And as a result of accomplishing the deity, finally, we speak about the highest siddhi to be attained. That is the perfect bodhicitta arising within your own mind. It is when the ice block of self-grasping has completely melted and you attain freedom. So all we need to do really is make an effort in cultivating that, love and compassion. And when that arises in your own mind, then the blessings of the deity have entered your mind. So the real blessings of the deity is love and compassion. And any of the other accomplishments, the other siddhis, for example, there is miraculous powers like clairvoyance and so on. These are just temporary qualities of the path, but the ultimate quality that need to be accomplished is love and compassion, or bodhicitta. It is that a sign of meditation is an absence of afflictive emotions. And a sign of hearing or of learning is a peaceful and subdued disposition. So we need to understand the blessings of the deity to be love and compassion. So if you just have the intention, I want to benefit sentient beings, if you only have that mind, then later at the time of death, if you just remember the Buddha Amitabha and you're certain that there is this place of Devachan where I will take birth, then you certainly can take birth there. So we need to understand that the essence of all happiness or all bliss is love. If you understand that, then your path will always be unmistaken. It is said the perfect Buddhas arise from the altruistic mind. So all of the qualities, the enlightened qualities, and therefore also the qualities of Devachan, are really the qualities of the altruistic mind. And if you only have altruism to some extent, you will be able to experience the qualities, the happiness of the higher realms. So with that in mind, you should engage in practice and read the prayer of this aspiration of Sukhavati, and study it well, recite it, also discuss it with each other. You can ask Khenpo to give you explanations, study it over and over again. Also, you can get a recording or record yourself reciting this prayer and then listen to the recording. And that's actually very good for elderly people also, and also those who are dying. When they're listening to this prayer, the recording of this prayer, that describes all of these qualities of Devachan, then in their mind, the Pure Land will appear. They will think that, oh, there is this Pure Land of Devachan, and there is Amitabha, and there is this beautiful place where the water is perfect, and the land is perfect, and there's beautiful birds, and so on. And when your mind goes there, then all ordinary thoughts will stop, and you feel very happy. And then also you can hang up a tanka, an image, just to illustrate this Pure Land. And then when the mind goes there, you develop a pure perception. For example, when you see an image like a tanka, through the form you develop a pure perception. Or when you hear the sound, you recall the qualities of the Pure Land and Amitabha. And then the blessings of the deity will enter your mind. That is, when love arises, the blessings will have entered your mind. And when they have entered your mind, then wisdom will naturally increase. And so in brief, this is the power that can be brought about by only practicing that. And actually, if you apply these instructions to any other practice, the same powers will be accomplished. So if you're practicing a poem and you have an aspiration to take birth in Devachen, you should study well this aspiration, prayer of Sukhavati, and really make up your mind. There is this place of Devachen where I will go. I want to go there. And how I go there is through my central channel. And I'm already preparing the path. I'm ready to go. It's like almost like you have the plane ticket in your hands and you're ready to go. And so you have taken refuge. You bring to mind the qualities of the Pure Land. You practice, and you're all prepared and ready to go. So it is with that kind of certainty and belief that you must engage in practice. Because, as I mentioned before, if you practice with such trust in yourself, in your own practice, then the power will be much greater.
동남대 잡아 그 가리리 그 가요래 되나 일단 뭐수 주로 제반매 봐 말에 제반매 봐 롱바이 제반매 봐 강나 되는 상바다 인지게 내가 속체모 그다지 수진을 배받을 때와 좀이 대 참지들이 포되는 기내서 들어가래 모든 집들이 좀 들어가래 대도 선거요래 대장 뭐는 또 봐 말이야 들들 가세에는 또 최종대라서 그러는 돈들이 특히 간에 소속 때냐 대답해서 제 머리에 버튼 해지기는 기내들 들어봐야지 부모님이 지는 이제 좀 들어봐야지 대다 응우지는 그 소속 당한 무슨 사람 매나 나타난 매 예민이 들이는 거요래 대답하는 거요래 근데 지서 되는다 Devati Monamde Mamalo Nuni the Romakase though there is Hala Naratang
So in one of the Buddha's aspirations, the Buddha has said that may all men attain the state of Chenrezig and all females the state of Tara. And so now one might wonder where are they all, those Tara and Chenrezig emanations? So actually there is no difference. It doesn't matter what religion one belongs to. It doesn't matter which ethnic group or country one belongs to. It doesn't matter who one actually is, but anyone who gives rise to love and compassion and engages in activities that benefit and bring happiness to sentient beings. Anyone who engages, who really makes an effort in these activities can said to be an emanation. If they're male, then Chenrezig, and if they're female, then Tara. And this is really what the Buddha is saying in this aspiration. So this aspiration is not just empty. And so the more powerful one's aspiration is, the more greater one's activities then, also in a worldly sense. So whenever you see someone doing something very beneficial for others, and for example, a man who is very compassionate, then you should recognize him really as an emanation of Chenrezig. And if it is a female, then an emanation of Tara. And if you recognize them as Chenrezig and Tara, also you will develop a pure perception. And in reality then, actually the deities and people are actually indivisible, and that is what you will realize. So then next Rinpoche, I would like to ask you a question. How many of you have read this aspiration of Sukhavati before? Can you raise your hand? So Rinpoche is saying that actually it seems most have not read that prayer before. So therefore, before we come to, before Rinpoche will give the transmission of the poem practice, we will read together this red book, the prayer, the aspiration of Sukhavati. Because when we read it now together, then we will learn that this is the place where I will go. And then after that, Rinpoche will grant us the reading transmission. Does everybody have the book? So we're starting on page 4, right? 4, right? In the little red book. Huh? Oh, it's also in the. It's also in the big book where you also have the Tibetan on page. Which page is it? But is it the same translation to English? The Tibetan is 107, the Tibetan in the big book. I'm not sure if this is the same translation now. But anyways, if you follow English, then let's just do the red book. So on page 4 in the small book. Emma home, in the directions of the setting sun, beyond innumerable worlds, slightly elevated, is the land of the noble beings, the perfectly pure celestial realm, Sukhavati. It is not visible to ordinary eyesight, but is clearly visible to a mind endowed with pure vision. In that realm resides the Bhagavan Jina Amitabha of ruby red color in a dazzling brilliance. He has all the 32 marks of superiority and the 80 perfections, the crest protrusion on his head and the wheels on his feet and all the rest. He has a single face and 2 hands in contemplation mudra, holding an alms bowl, and he is robed in the 3 Dharma robes, sitting cross-legged. He is seated in Vajra posture on a 1,000-petaled lotus with a moon seed, and behind his back is a Bodhi tree. By his compassionate eyes he beholds me from afar. On his right is the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara of white color, holding in his left hand a white lotus. And on his left is the Bodhisattva Vajrapani of blue color, holding in his left hand a Vajra-marked lotus, and both have their right hands extended towards me in refuge-bestowing mudra. These 3 chief deities appear in splendor like Sumeru, towering, immovable, and indestructible. Surrounding them are millions and billions of bodhisattva mendicants, all of golden complexion, adorned by the marks and perfections, and robed in the 3 Dharma robes of bright yellow color. Since they do not discriminate between devotion from near and from afar, I prostrate devotedly by my 3 gates right here. As I recognize the Dharmakaya Amitabha as lineage Buddha, from his right hand radiates light, becoming his emanation Avalokiteshvara, and further becoming 1 billion secondary Avalokiteshvara emanations. From his left hand radiates light, becoming his emanation Tara, and further becoming 1,000 million secondary Tara emanations. And from his heart radiates light, becoming his emanation Padmasambhava, and further becoming 1,000 million secondary Padmasambhava emanations. I prostrate to the Dharmakaya Amitabha. During the 6 periods of day and night, his Buddha eye continuously beholds all beings with affection. He always knows whatever thoughts arise in the mind of every single sentient being, and he always hears distinctly and without confusion whatever words are spoken by every single sentient being. I prostrate to the all-knowing Amitabha. It is declared that anyone who offers this aspiration with faith, except one who has committed the 5 inexpiable Dharma abandonments, will, by offering this aspiration to be reborn in Sukhavati, be drawn towards that realm when they enter the bardo. I prostrate to the guide Amitabha. It is declared that Amitabha's vitality will remain for countless aeons without passing beyond suffering, and just now appears openly. And anyone who supplicates with single-pointed devotion will obtain power over life, except for already ripened tendencies, and the ability to live for 100 years, and he will be protected against all untimely death. I prostrate to the protector Amitayus. It is declared that even if one could fill 1 billion worlds, countless myriads of times with jewels, and give them as gifts, hearing but once the name of Amitabha and Sukhavati, and joining the palms in faith, would have greater merit. Therefore, I prostrate devotedly to Amitabha. Whoever on hearing the name of Amitabha develops uncontrived devotion from the depth of his heart and bones just once, he will never be repelled from the Bodhi path. I prostrate to the protector Amitabha. Who even hears the name of Buddha Amitabha will always be born in a superior family and endowed with pure morality until that one's heart is awakened. I prostrate to the Sugata Amitabha. My body, my wealth, all roots of my virtue, and all offerings I can imagine of material wealth and mental creation, the 8 auspicious objects, 8 auspicious signs, and 7 royal attributes, the 1,000,000 evolvements of Mount Meru, the 4 continents and sun and moon, as they appear in the primordial creation of the 1 billion worlds, all wealth of devas, nagas, and human beings, everything my mind holds on to, this I offer to Amitabha. In your compassion, accept it for my benefit. All the non-virtuous deeds which I have been committed by myself and other beings, by all sentient beings headed by my father and mother, from beginningless time until now, killing, stealing, and impure conduct, the 3 non-virtues of the body, I now confess, lying, slandering, rough speech, and gossip, the 4 non-virtues of speech, I now confess, covetousness, malice, and holding wrong view, the 3 non-virtues of mind, I now confess. Killing one's father, one's mother, one's teacher, or an arhat, and intending to cause harm to the body of a jina, all accumulated tendencies towards these 5 inexpiable deeds, I now confess. Killing a monk or a nun, seducing a chaste woman, destroying a statue, a stupa, or a temple, and so on, all faults pertaining to such almost inexpiable deeds, I now confess. Swearing by the refuge, the temple, or the scriptures, and similar deeds, all accumulation of such bad tendencies towards Dharma abandonment, I now confess. Having heard about the benefit resulting from virtue and the suffering resulting from non-virtue, and about being sentenced to the suffering of the hells, but believing this to be without truth, and having accumulated the bad tendencies of the evil of the 5 inexpiable deeds, all such accumulation of bad tendencies from which one cannot be liberated, I now confess. Breaking the Vinaya code through the 4 inexpiable deeds, or the 13 very bad transgressions, or indulging in the 5 kinds of defilement, or making mistakes concerning the rules of Vinaya, all this I now confess. Falling into the 4 black activities, or violating the other 5 or 8 vows, and thus damaging the bodhisattva discipline, all this I now confess. Spoiling the 14 root vows and 8 branch vows of the Vajrayana, I now confess. The vows I have failed to take and the unvirtuous deeds I have committed, my impure conduct and my enjoyment of wine and so on, all the faults which cannot be clearly described, and all the faults I cannot recognize as faults, I now confess. Having taken refuge, vows, or empowerments without knowing how to keep the commitment precepts, and subsequently having fallen from them, this I now confess. As confession without repentance is incomplete, I now confess all my previous faults from their depth, like having eaten poison. I confess with shame and fear and great repentance. As confession without taking further commitment is incomplete, I commit myself from now on to abstain from killing and all such unvirtuous deeds. By the blessing of the Sugata Amitabha and his heirs, may I now be completely purified. To develop heartfelt joy when one hears about the virtuous deeds done by others, and to abandon the non-virtue of jealousy towards them is declared to be a source of merit. Therefore, I rejoice in all virtue performed by noble beings as well as ordinary beings. I rejoice in all the many deeds for the benefit of sentient beings performed out of the generation of the highest Bodhi mind. I rejoice in the reversal of the 10 non-virtues into the 10 virtues, saving others' lives, giving in charity, and keeping one's commitment, speaking the truth, reconciling conflicts, speaking gently and straightforwardly, speaking what is meaningful, having small desire, meditating on loving kindness and compassion, and practicing Dharma activity. In all these virtues I rejoice. I enjoin all accomplished Buddhas of all the myriad worlds of the 10 directions. Please turn without delay the wheel of Dharma, extensively as well as expediently. And by your super faculties, please reveal for all beings their purpose. I supplicate all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dharma upholders, and spiritual friends intending to pass beyond suffering. Please do not pass beyond, but remain in this world. My virtue accumulated by this devotion and all the virtue of the 3 times I dedicate to benefit sentient beings. May all beings quickly obtain the highest enlightenment, and may the samsara of the 3 worlds be turned from its depth. May this virtue quickly ripen for me, so that the 18 kinds of untimely death may not affect me. May I remain free from disease, and may my body have the strength of an adolescent. May my splendor never be exhausted, but remain as abundant as the river Ganga in the rainy season. May I perform the activities of the liberating Dharma without being endangered by hostile beings. May all intentions I have in mind be completely fulfilled in a Dharma way. May I accomplish great benefits for the exposition of the Dharma and for all beings. May I accomplish the purpose of this human existence. The moment I and all who are attached to me pass on from this life, may the emanation of Buddha Amitabha, surrounded by his mendicant Sangha, appear openly before us. Content with the joy of beholding him, may we not experience the suffering of death. May the 8 Bodhisattva brothers miraculously appear in the sky before us. and by their knowledge of the path to Sukhavati, may they guide us along that path. The suffering of the lower realms is unbearable, and the happiness of gods and men is impermanent. May this cause fear to arise in me. Samsara has endured from beginningless time until now. May this cause sadness to arise in me. Even transmigrating from human life to human life, enjoying the best of all births, countless times one must undergo birth, old age, and death. This evil age is affected by impurities and many obstacles. The happiness and contentment of even human beings and gods is like food mixed with poison. May I be without even the slightest desire for this. All relatives, food, wealth, and companions are illusory like a dream. May I be without even the slightest desire for this. All countries, places, and homes are the lands and homes of a dream. May I recognize their lack of reality. To attain the pure realm of Sukhavati from the inescapable ocean of samsara is like being liberated from a prison of great evil. May I not look back towards samsara. To cut all snares of attachment is like a vulture being liberated from a net. May I thus fly away towards the western sky, having traveled beyond innumerable universes in an instant. May I reach the realm of Sukhavati. There may I openly behold the face of Buddha Amitabha, and may all my veils be purified. May I take the superior of the four modes of birth, the miraculous birth from the heart of a lotus flower. May I instantly obtain a perfect body, endowed with all marks and perfections. For those who have doubt or hesitation here in this life, the flower will not open for 500 years, and they will have to remain within, fully enjoying all bliss and contentment and hearing his Buddha speech, but unable to behold his Buddha face. May I not develop this fault. May my flower open instantly on my birth, and may I behold the face of Buddha Amitabha. By the power of my merit and magic ability, may offering clouds surpassing all imagination emanate from my hands as offerings to Buddha Amitabha and his retinue. At that moment, may the Tathagata stretch out his right hand and touch my head, and bestowing my enlightened prophecy. By listening to his deep and extensive Dharma teaching, may my nature be ripened and liberated. May Avalokiteshvara and Vajrapani, the two principal bodhisattvas, accept me into their blessing. Each day, as innumerable Buddhas and bodhisattvas of the 10 directions approach the Buddha Amitabha to make offerings and to behold his realm, may I, through propitiation of all these, obtain their Dharma nectar. By unhindered projection, one can reach the realms of Akanishta and Ratnakuntam, Karma Paripuranam, and Dumatala. May I every morning proceed to visit these realms, meet the Buddhas Akshobhya and Ratnasambhava, Amokasiddhi and Vairocana, obtain empowerments and blessings, take vows and make many offerings, and then by the evening return without effort or difficulty to Sukhavati. May I proceed to Potala and Alakavati, Chamara and Orgyan, the billion realms of the billion emanations of Avalokiteshvara and Tara, Vajrapani and Padmasambhava, and meet them and make oceans of offerings, obtain empowerments and request profound teachings, and quickly and without difficulty return to my own place, Sukhavati. With my supervision, may I clearly behold those close friends and students I have left behind, grant them protection and blessings, and lead them towards this realm at the time of their death. The duration of this whole fortunate aeon is like a single day in Sukhavati, and for innumerable aeons there is no death. May I enter this realm for all times. From Buddha Maitreya until Buddha Amöpa, when during this fortunate aeon the Buddhas appear in this world, may I miraculously proceed there, making offerings and listen to the liberating Dharma, and then return to Sukhavati. all the qualities of the 81 Buddha realms, of all the 100,000 million Buddhas are joined in Sukhavati. Thus it is unsurpassed, the most noble of all celestial realms. There the jewel ground is as smooth as the palm of the hand, spacious and radiant with beams of light. When it is pressed down, it gives way, and when it is lifted up, it rises. May I be reborn in this lofty realm of gentle happiness. There wish-fulfilling trees abound, of different precious materials, with leaves of brocade and fruits of jewel ornaments. Flocks of emanation birds are perched on them, singing the teachings, deep and extensive Dharma. May I be reborn in this realm of great wonder. There the rivers flow with perfumed water having the 8 qualities, and the nectar water of the bathing ponds have the same qualities. The bathing stairs are tiled with the 7 precious stones, and the waters abound with lotus flowers yielding fragrant fruits. The lotus blossoms radiate light beyond all limits, and each beam is on its point adorned with an emanation Buddha. May I be reborn in this realm of the greatest marvels. There are 8 unfavorable conditions, and the misery of the lower realms is unheard of. The 3 or 5 emotional poisons, diseases, demons, enemies, paupers, fight and quarrel, and so on. All such suffering is unheard of. May I be reborn in this realm of great bliss. There are no sexes, and nobody is born from a womb. All are born out of a lotus flower. All have faultless bodies of golden complexion, adorned with the crown protrusion, and so on. All the marks and perfections, and all possess the 5 super faculties and 5 eyes. May I be reborn in this realm of countless qualities. There palaces made of various precious materials arise by themselves. All desirable enjoyments arise by the thought of power of the mind. No exertion is necessary. All needs are spontaneously fulfilled. There is no distinction between you and me because there is no selfishness. Whatever one wants arises on offering clouds from the palm of one's hand. All act according to the Dharma of the highest Mahayana. May I be reborn in this realm of all-pervading joy and contentment. There the fragrant breezes bring great showers of flowers. The trees and rivers and lotus flowers all have surpassingly lovely shapes, sounds, smells, tastes, and touches. Offering clouds with all sorts of enjoyments continuously arise. No women or men abide in that realm, but there are abundant emanation gods and goddesses. These gods and goddesses of many distinctions are continuously presenting offerings. By the wish to take rest, a jewel palace arises. By the wish to lay down, a jewel throne with cushions and pillows of various brocades appears. By the wish to listen, the sound of the birds and the wish-fulfilling trees and the rivers all offer Dharma praises. By the wish for silence, no sound is heard. The nectar pools and rivers become warm or cold upon one's wish. May I be reborn in this wish-fulfilling realm. In this realm, the perfect Buddha, Amitabha, will reside for countless aeons without passing beyond suffering. When Amitabha has passed into nirvana, there will be an intermediate period of Dharma exposition lasting as many aeons as there are sand grains in the river Ganga. Eventually, the Dharma will decline, but then again arise when Avalokiteshvara attains enlightenment. He will appear as the Buddha Usa Gune Pakpa at the time of a king named Bartek. During that time, may I offer my attendance and listen to the liberating Dharma. His lifespan will be 1,066,000,000 aeons. During that time, may I offer continuous service and propitiation, and without failure uphold the liberating Dharma. Then Avalokiteshvara will pass into nirvana, and during a period of 600 million and further 3 billion aeons, the Dharma will be exposed by Vajrapani. During that time, may I remain inseparable from Vajrapani. Vajrapani will then appear as the Buddha Rapto Dempa at the time of the king named Yönten Norbo Zegpa. His lifespan will be of the same duration as the lifespan of Avalokiteshvara. During that time, may I service and by my offerings be able to uphold the liberating Dharma. Then may I instantly transfer my life to another pure realm to obtain the highest perfection of the Buddha state. Having achieved the perfect Buddha state, may I, like Amitayos, be able to ripen and liberate all beings just by hearing my name. May I be able to guide sentient beings by countless emanations. May I accomplish boundless benefits for living beings effortlessly and spontaneously. O Amitabha, Dharmakaya of infinite brightness, the unlimited vitality, merit, quality, awareness, and brilliance of the Tathagata, O Bhagavan of boundless vitality and awareness, it is declared that whoever takes refuge in your name will remain protected from all threats of fire, water, poison, weapons, nurjins, simples, and so on, except for already ripened accumulated tendencies. As I prostrate to the refuge of your name, please grant me your protection against all fear and suffering. Please bestow your blessing for all auspiciousness, everything in plenty, by the blessing of the certainty of the three Buddhakayas, by the blessing of the truth of the immutable Dharmata, and by the blessing of the guidance of the unfailing Sangha. May these aspirations be accomplished as they have been offered. So now while Rinpoche is reading the transmission, visualize yourself in the form of your own Yidam deity, like Vajrayogini, arising in an instant, and then only focus on the central channel and then meditate on the various lines of the text. But visualize the Buddha Amitabha above your crown. So just hold that focus of mainly the central channel and Amitabha above your crown while Rinpoche reads the transmission.
니만이 자주 그때는 사지가 삼제세 속혀버려대 또 발참해봐 돈이 감탐들이 착용을 니만이 니만 범죄서 예소 대 사지 뒤바sab더니 무슨 파트임부터 사지 삼제 착착려요.
So we think, for example, that the sun is very far away, but then even though the sun is so far away, often the rays that reach us are still experienced as very hot. And it is said that the love and the compassion of all the Buddhas is much stronger than even like 100 suns blazing. So their love is there continuously, uninterruptedly, pervading all the reaches of space. Actually, it is like 100,000 suns. It is that powerful. And for this reason, all we need to do is just think of the Buddhas, but actually they are always here, all pervasive.
마시버더가 예정되와라 고르들은 예정되냐 마상 다삼 저버더 알링아 예정되와라 고주행자나 과연 봐라 저도 매배거나 저주고도 진짜야 저도 마치랑 더워서 자사 허리도 뛰어서 라우저베 마바마도 떨어져 동거야 그래서 저도 마치랑 더워서 저라서 바바 하러 로바죠 저서 저가 이제 개발하러 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 로로로 용도된 희주제 동아 볼을 좀 바로 다야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 로라서 잡은 희주제 동아서다 저 벌지바도 저야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저라 샤탈라가 모두 살아서 제 잡라지 제메 배져 보여야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 밥하고도 그러냐고 또 somos 상하지 들어가 제랑도 상제야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 상정 거서는데 도군데로 거는 도용하자 같이 주제고야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 내 저도 되네 공정틀레라도야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 내 저도 되네 같이 틀레요 저야 그래서 저도 마치랑 더워서 저로 내 저도 되네 또 처미도 제야 그래서 저도 와서 마치랑 더워서 저로 내 손대던 도로 선제로 메저 동안에서 선고하라 신발로 봤죠. 나는 뭐라도 도와줘 리온도 하러 도와줘 하러 미도 와서 이라서 축구도 와서 이라만 보면 남자의 제도하는 버스인데 막아처럼 하는 미라상 이게 요서 저로 나서고 되말 주사자제 모로냐 저 버들만 첼로 버들만 그 요와서 보고가지 용조소년도 뭐 선별로도 제가 저해자다 까비도 같은 바람에도 제 정원고 정보진 본신도 소와도 저기서 저서 저런 예다다서 제 돈질을 데려서 이제 소와도 말은 뭐지 동해보다 주제제 가면 돌아서 셀레미 토이점인지 벌써 이제 로서선 동아한테 추진지 야소매 봉셔와 길어서 심지도는 단신나 담바 추진은 또 오메 소바와 쳐다 살아다나 소바와셔다 한 동안이 되죠. 동안에서 마치랑 그 들릴 테니까 저거 도저 남절마 그 높이 말하는 도지 자저 사이마 자저 잡고 냠지 진수 마와 제와 중세 저봐 오다시 저저 서울 잡도 들어와 저강마요 올라지마 나다에서 파전나쁜 거라니마 사회상 저거 남과라서 와요 저다 저걸 남봐 주목하는 까란데마 잡용권바 예절라라자와 예장마다 저 선물 바로서 복경자들 저거 생각내봐 들어오면서 상처와 달바보다를 배지마 끝낭라 ram진 매와 대 공부에서 자원마 생活了 남말와 서와 동바 진이지당 대반다 명루보다 양례 차오도 말에 산에서 봐 내가 책을 제바다를 뜻다 빼마마 본다 마제베서 저들의 초랑간 나바제병하고 틀레마 보세면도 보삼 양심이 요방 팔라 이렇게 봐 저들은 원매 양에 싸고 저도 카시바다가 여바든데 오라나는 그냥 자발라마 대인발라 남바산지야 밤에 공도마 보고 차지 죽었음 당대 마신다 베지 좀봐 rumboche atala java sambe joktan je jokpa tela juba lama nam je ko wala so atap chen dag hek juba da java tesa churan gan namba juba ngo telle se yo woman nam ju de sanji ba me je shansa da to do somamla tena hakan be dole akhe hakan be potro 해가 만배 저기 해가 타고 랑 가시에다 독든 점평을 때도 내가 보고 터지게 되더니 랑치를 갈래 이제 사제자들 톡톡상 또 저거 되는 것들이 들에서 감자 들이 꼭안 나오는 게 될까 됐으냐 나시마 밥소사 그냥 감자 대로 생성제를 대지리들이 그냥 성기야로 봐 되지만 다 장성 성기야로 봐 요도 대지서 즉그야로 봐 제요래 능하니 핵유니야로 봐 대리 장성이지만 아니 핵유고 마주르더니 남식이더니 야야 또 갈래 마바도 갈래 막 야를 좀 좋아서 지하로요 다시 막 갈래 근데 제주 선생님이 가서 옥낭난 접 되게 되게 롱 송라세 옥공 배숙치고 숙치고 라면 묶어서 저거래 그때 제들이 강하게 평가를
So now we come to the transferring with Hek, exclaiming the syllable, and so now Rinpoche said that only he will do it. So we will just listen. We will not follow Rinpoche right now. And so there are 3 rounds to it. In the first round, Rinpoche will say Hek 6 or 7 times, a few times, and so that is more meant for beginning practitioner, where we are first training to slowly, step by step, move the consciousness up until it finally reaches the toe of Amitabha. So think that with the last one, it has reached the toe. Meditate, and then again you exhale the air, which is like you're going into yourself again. Then the consciousness descends back down, as you say, or Rinpoche will now say Ga. So that process he will repeat 3 times, so 3 times doing the 7 heks. And then after that, the second round is when Rinpoche will say only 3 heks. And in 3 steps, we'll move the consciousness up to the crown. So when we reach the second point in our actual practice, that is when we have already done some good training in the poem. So then at this point, we've already prepared the path. So now we can move the consciousness up with only 3 hek. And then the third round is when Rinpoche will only say a single hek, and with a single hek, the consciousness can move up. So that is when you have later trained very well. And actually, when you have completely habituated the practice, it is not even necessary later on to even say the syllable hek anymore. Then you can just visualize how your consciousness first shoots up very quickly. So it moves up very quickly, and then very slowly it descends back down, and you meditate for a bit. So the expression of the hek is for the mind, to support the mind in abiding with the visualization. And also the ga when it comes back down slowly. So actually sometimes people are using too much force of their breath, like holding their breath too strongly. And that's actually not necessary. Just do it gently, because what's more important is the visualization. So right now we will just observe, and Rinpoche will do the hek.
So, 그런데 로고야를 롱 게임실에 내 야도 롱 매번에 야 들고자 핵 등이 이제 우리는 이 막박이야도 되라 헐 내가 배배지 서로 양아대들 배 아니 야통을 롱건 롱 Teacher, Dr. also.
So when you're moving the consciousness up, it is moved up through the force, the energy of the winds, and with each heck you're moving it up one more step. So then first it comes to the throat, and every time you say the heck, it is like now it's here, and it's like closing. Now like it stops here. Basically, it stops here, and it goes within the central channel. So mainly you're moving it up through your visualization. So with each heck it moves up a step. And no, this is how you should do it when you do your own training, so how Rinpoche had just demonstrated. And it is said that the consciousness is like the arrow being shot, and the bow that shoots the arrow is the wind energy. So first we practice a few rounds of moving the consciousness up by saying heck and visualizing, and then with the stronger heck, that is the last one, it reaches the toe and descends back down. And so after having done that for some time, at the end of the session, the Amitabha above your crown melts into red light, which then dissolves into you through the central channel, and then comes to rest at the heart center, where it transforms into a small form of amitayos, just like the size of a mustard seed, very small, brilliant with light. And also think you have transformed into amitayos as you recite a few longevity amitayos mantras. And so all that while think that now amitayos always rests at my heart.
도지 상가 바라라가 파고트메 로드로서 안데 시저 사제적이라서 안데 소매 맞지 생겨라서 안데 너좀 공통 남자라서 안데 그게 받아 생겨라서 안데 좀 고초를라서 안데 어제 취저적으로서 고정 틀에 남자라서 안데 고정 틀에서 걸어서 안데 틀에서 취저라서 안데 고정 이리로 나라서 안데 같이 담아서야라서 안돼 이제 취재 좀 알아서 안돼 저다 빼면 좀 되라서 안돼 이제 담아도 달아서 특히로 좀 되라서 안돼 이제 때문에 되라서 안돼 라도 친이 넘어라서 고쳐 특히 좀 알아서 안돼 같이 때문에 좀 되라서 안돼 오진이 뒤도 되라서 조셔 로드라서 안돼 같이 트레이닝 잘라서 안돼 또 재미도 되라서 Just our Malazo, and there are some Hawaii was the jello, and all the good was the jello. Dodges and a simple mother, the Rajan, the Jevers and jello. Sanjay, Bami, Bella country, 같이 때 점들어서 와서 오진이도 저러서 와서 그거셔로 들어서 원종들에서 들어서 와서 같이 트레이닝 저러서 와서 또 손님도 저러서 그치 서버를 말아서 와서 서로 포함이 와서 저러고 연락 보면 가지고 들어서 저러고 와서 저는 해서 비좀마다 대화진도 제와서 저러고 산지어 밤이라 저저로 집만 전해서 하는데 사람 포함해서 연락 보면 가족도 벌써 나기는 세비마다 대화제도 제와서 잘라 사제가 밤이나 삼타로 어제도 이제 다 사제라서 하는 조민은 과자 들어서 하는데 또 상가받아라서 하는데 파고드멜로들어서 하는 진짜 사제도 들어서 하는 조민 맞지 세제라서 하는 여자 고소도 잘라서 하는 그집부터 세제라서 하는 제도 고소를 나라서 그래서 진짜도 말아서 하는 고소를 잘라서 하는 고소를 몰아서 하는 그래도 그렇게 잘라서 하는 고소들도 날아서 하는 같이 더 마셔야라서 하는 이제 치질이 말아서 하는 저다 빼빼 좀 내려서 하는 저들 담아서 나와서 하는 그래서를 정해서 하는 진짜 매지라서 하는 고친이 나와서 하는 고소들이 말아서 하는 같이 빼빼 좀 내려서 하는 오진이도 돌려서 하는 교실로 들어서 하는 고조틀에서 들어서 하는 같이 트레이닝 들어서 하는 사람 뭐 또 처음에도 들어서 하는 사람 뭐 와서 연락 가지고 와서 연락 옛날에 섬이지만 대화진도 제와서 연락 사지어 밤에 가서 가르치 방조자가 소지선하다 나서때 배소제를 그때는 이미지죠. 디와진다 제와선지로 주 밤이 보고 호적전이랑 같은 진지게를 도서라나 제밤에도 저 남모방아바데 아빠레마다 아이잖아 숨을 시다되더라데 바탕가다야 하저서야 삼바다야 디아다 빌리마 빌리 아바라마다 빌리 아바라마다 빌리잖아 선보로 보다다 사와상거라 바라저다 들마다 가가나 서면것 수봉아 버저다 마나야 바라 와레서 아마라나 저인데서 아마라나 저인데서 아마라나 저인데서 아마라나 저인데서 아마라나 저인데서 주바도 저সম송아 주바도 저도 som마다가 냠바르자 내로도 저 다시 대장 등들들 저 대진도 주요 콜로 생기는 나타도 소지자 답자자도 잡데 남도냐 자들라서 아메데와레
So, Madame friends, continue with the Mahong Vajra recitation as we take 30 minutes break.
Mami Deva Sri, Om Mami Deva Sri, Deva Sri, Om Mami Deva Sri, Deva Sri, Om Mami 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 Deva Sri. Om Ami Deva Shri, 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 Om Ami D You all should know that there are 3 kindnesses of the Lama. The first kindness is the empowerment that we received yesterday. The second kindness is the transmission that we just received. And the third kindness is the instructions, the explanations and the instructions. So we received a little bit of that already today, and I'm sure we'll be receiving more of that today and tomorrow. These are the 3 kindnesses of the Lama. So it's a great blessing for us to receive these.
Page 89, Amitabha practice, page 89. Namo to the three jivas and the three roots, the place of protection. I go for refuge in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood. I give rise to a mind set on supreme awakening. Namo to the three jivas and the three roots, the place of protection. I go for refuge in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood. I give rise to mind set on supreme awakening. Namo to the three jivas and the three roots, the place of protection. I go for refuge. In order to establish all beings in Buddhahood, I give rise to mind set of supreme awakening. Within sincere faith, I pay homage to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, embodied in 10 directions and 3 times. I offer followers, incense, lamps, fragrance, food, music, and the like. Actually arranged and mentally created supreme gathering, please accept them. I confess all evil deeds, the 10 non-virtues, and the 5 acts without interest that I have committed, overpowered by mental afflictions, since beginningless time until now. I rejoice in the merit, all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times, by the Swakas, Prakshika, Bodhisattvas, ordinary beings, and the like. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the greater and lesser workers, and the teachings common to both, according to the aspirations and diverse mental capacity of sentient beings. Until samsara is emptied, do not pass into nirvana, but compassionately look upon sentient beings, drowning in the ocean of suffering. Spirit I have accumulated become the cause of awakening, and may soon become a God of beings. The fruit of accumulation dissolve into me. Thus the mind of the 4 measurables has arise within the mind stream of myself and all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness. May they be free from all suffering. May they never be separate from happiness. May they abide in great equanimity. Appearance and existence, all phenomena of samsara and nirvana are empty by nature, portraying that beings wandering confused in samsara. Nor realize this. My awareness appears as a white shirt, the manifestation of unfilled emptiness, clear and compassion. The shirt transforms into myself, appear as Chenrezig, seated upon a cushion of lotus and moon, with one face and 4 arms. 2 are joined at the heart, and the other 2 hold the lotus and the garland. Peaceful and with loving countenance, I am dressed in the garments of Sambhonakaya Buddha, sitting in cross-legged posture. My lower body is enfolded in a lotus. In the space in front, upon a seat of a lotus and a moon, appear as a red gleaming with a light. The light radiates, pleasing the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, and gathering their knowledge, love, and power. The light then dissolves back into the shirt. Again, like radiates to the six realms, purify the karmic visions, self-grasping and the habitual imprints of sentient beings. The light gathers back and the earth transforms into the spirit protector of beings, Buddha Amitabha. He is bright red like a mountain of robes, with one face and two arms in equal pose. Buddha holding a big bowl, he wears the three Dharma robes and sits in cross-legged posture, ceaselessly looking up in beings with eye of compassion. He appears as the great embodiment of all the Buddhas. On his right is the noble Supreme Chinrezig, with one face and two arms, holding a white lotus with the left hand, white and adorned with jewels. He stands upright. To the left of the Lord is the Bodhisattva Vajrayogini, with one face and two arms, holding a Vajra in the left hand, blue and adorned with jewels. He stands upright. They are surrounded by an assembly of Bodhisattvas, the three places of the principle. Lord are might with the three syllables. From the syllable white, red, and blue light radiates to the 10 directions, and in particularly to the pure line of Sukhavati, invoking the heart pledge of Amitabha and his retinues, who then instinctively appear at this place. In the great blessed sphere of my own promoter, pure awareness, abide Amitabha and retinue as the naturally present innate radiance. From the beginning, the Samaya and wisdom beings are one, yet the form bodies manifest out of the expanse of great love and compassion, in accordance with the mental inclination of beings. Following your heart pledge, come here to the place and be seated, and disappear from the mandala of the Samaya being, up in a kitchen of multicolored lotus and moon. Om Ame Deva Sapara Var Benza Samaya Sa Hom Baho Samaya Titale. Sura Sura Avarde Besoha Om Benza Savarana Kam Om Sarvam Bepura Pura Sura Sura Avarde Besoha Om Benza Savarana Kam Om Sarvam Bepura Pura Sura Sura Avarde Besoha Om Benza Savarana Kam. Sure, I offer this water endowed with attributes, with the nature of generosity to the mouth of the victorious one. May all beings be endowed with the perfect abundance. I offer this food cleansing water, pure, core, clear, and exquisite, with the nature of morality, to the feet of the victorious one. May all beings be relieved from the misery of existence. I offer victorious beautiful celestial flowers that have the nature of patience to the eye of the victorious one. May all beings be endowed with the 7 attributes of the higher realms. I offer naturally sweet, smiling saints and blending incense that have the nature of rulers to the nose of the victorious one. May all beings become free from the bonds of samsaric existence. I offer this precious, radiant, and lust that has nature of meditation to the heart of the victorious one. May the darkness of all beings, confused minds be dispelled. I offer fragrant medicinal saffron and the like, which have the nature of knowledge to the form of the victorious one. May all beings realize the innate nature of phenomena. I offer food endowed with the essence of 100 tastes, with the nature of method to the tongue of the victorious one. May all beings be nourished by the food of samadhi. I offer harmonious musical songs, such as those of conch shell, drum, and bear, which have the nature of power to the air of the victorious one. May all beings be endowed with bodhicitta. I offer the 5 desirable of senses, which have the nature of aspiration to the victorious one. May all beings be satisfied by under 5 bliss. I offer the 8 auspicious substances, the 8 auspicious symbols, and the 7 royal attributes, which have the nature of wisdom to the victorious one. May all beings attain the attributes of Buddhahood. Om Sarva Panjamanga Samandra Savarana Samaya. And unowned things of the entire infinite being for the universe, my own body, enjoyments, and all possessions, I offer without holding anything back to the pure lane of Sukhavati. May the self-grasping of beings be thereby fully pacified. May they be endowed with bodhicitta, and may their birth in the pure lane be uninterrupted. Om Rina Mandala Panjamanga Ahom. Realizing that my own mind is awakened, I pay homage on the atomic level. Empty awareness, free of grasping, is the offering of all appearance and existence. Confused perceptions of dualistic grasping are confessed within the expanse of Dharmata. I rejoice in the spontaneously perfection of the 3 kayas. Turn the Dharma way of unceasing compassion. Remain in the Dharmakaya nature that provides all samsara and nirvana. I dedicate therefore purity within infinite pervasiveness. Sure, always turning the Dharma way in the pure lane of Sukhavati. You unceasingly look up in sentient beings with compassion. Homage and praise to Amitabha, who were abiding in equipoise, follows his pledge to act for the purpose of beings. To Chenrezig, Vajrapane, the other Bodhisattvas, the noble example of Ahas, and the gathering of deities dwelling in the Sukhavati, I humbly pay homage and offer praise with body, speech, and mind. At the heart of myself as Chenrezig, on Mondays is a shirt surrounded by 6 syllable mantra, circling clockwise. From it, light radiates and a white mantra garland issues forth, emerge from my heart, and dissolve into the heart of a deity visualized in front. Thus, Amitabha's compassion, heart pledge of body, speech, and mind is evoked. From the mantra garland around the shirt at the heart of Amitabha, red mantra garland of light emerges from his mouth, enters my mouth, and I obtain blessing and attainments. In this way, the mantra circle continuously between myself and Amitabha. The multicolored light issuing from the circling mantra garland. Please the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. Purify the 3 types of obscurations of all sentient beings and the 3 realms, and the universe and the beings transform into the pure light of Sukhavati. Om Ame Devaya, 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 self-awareness in the bone of a boneless leg. Look at the mind that is free of subject-object duality. Who wonders there is no Buddha's leg, the dim-bone Makaya of self-awareness. Om Ame Devasho, 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 Om Ame Devasho. Transcendent Conqueror, Protector Buddha Amitabha, a noble example of a loving Bodhisattva, compassionately look upon us, afflicted beings, and guide us to the pure lane of Sukhavati. In accordance with your past Bodhisattva vows, not wavering from your samaya, deity with great compassion, please extinguish all bad karma and empty samsara from its depths. At this very moment, please act as our guide. As I, with intense devotion, have thus evoked the enlightened mind, let the rays of compassion radiate from the hearts of Buddha, dissolve into the hearts of all beings and myself. Self-grasping, misconceptions, and confusion naturally subside. I utilize the mind of self-dharmakaya and rest within a state of clarity and emptiness, free from grasping and liberating. Meditation. By all the boundless and perfect merit obtained through this meditation and recitation, may beings drowning in the river of suffering attain the high state of Amitabha. Hong Shi, all pervasive Dharmakaya, Protector Amitabha, Sambhona-kayas, the loving example of Bodhisattvas, and the Nirmana-kaya, the gathering of Shavakas, and our hearts, together with your retinue, please endowed all beings with the auspiciousness to progress to Sukhavati. Now we go to page 53. Invocation of Lord Jigten Sumgun. We do this twice English, once Tibetan. 53. Lama, please aid me. Glorious Lama, Lord of the four Kayas, Thapo Kaju, the crown of all, the leader of beings, the guide on secret path, the embodiment of compassion, the regent of the Buddha, the incomparable gracious one, precious teacher, the great protector Digompa, Vajradhara, please aid me. I pray, look upon me with compassion and bestow upon me blessings and the true accomplishment. Grant me know of spontaneously attainment of the true benefit for oneself and others. Bestow upon me the fruit. Lama, please aid me. Glorious Lama, Lord of the four Kayas, Thapo Kaju, the crown of all, the leader of beings, the guide on secret path, the embodiment of compassion, the regent of Buddha, the incomparable precious one, fearless teacher, the great protector Digompa, Vajradhara, please aid me. I pray, Lord, upon me with compassion and bestow upon me blessing and the true accomplishments. Grant me now a spontaneously attainment of the true benefits for oneself and others. Bestow upon me the fruit. Lama Jeno Parade Lama Geye Wanso Tabo Gaju Yongje Sojin Dowe Debon Tambe Landong Toje Ngada Jarwe Jarza Gaden Dodder Tomboy Dame Torjen Jawa Gomboy De Gomba Jemboy Jeno Sorwan De So Toje Zhe Senji Loje Medo Namni Tata Zorje Tonye Lendo Deve Zorje. Now we go to page 70. 70.
70.
Yeah, 70. 70. Until I become enlightened, I take refuge in the Guru who is the three jivas, through the mind that seeks to benefit all mother beings. I meditate on the essence of the performed path. Until I become enlightened, I take refuge in the Guru who is the three jivas, through the mind that seeks to benefit all mother beings. I meditate on the essence of the performed path. Namo Konjo Zungi Lama La Sanjo Barde Jabsum Je Majun Rowe Don Zile Salam Nyembo Gombarza. From the sphere of emptiness, I arise as the red Vajrayogini. She holds a cup, knife, and a skull cup. Her face is that of so with an outer nose. She is naked, adorned by bone ornaments and dancing. The inside and outside of her body is transparent, and the center of the body is the central channel. It's the blue on the outside, red on the inside, and possesses the four characteristics. There is a hole in the upper end of the channel, and it is close below the cigarette place at the bottom. At the heart center is a red lotus. On its pollen bead is a red bindu that is only the size of a pea. It is the nature of consciousness. It is a shiny, round, bouncing, wobbling, and transparently glimmering. Your Guru, Amitabha, is sitting with the sole of his feet on the Brahma aperture. The hole at the upper end of the central channel, at the crown of your head, the lies thus with strong humility and affection. Pray. Ru Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound path of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live in this life, might become inseparable from the mind of the protector in Sukhavati. Same again, Ru Guru, the bottom of the section, the last part, the page 71. The Ru Guru, Tathagata, Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound path of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Ru Guru, Tathagata, Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound path of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. So now we're going to chant the Tibetan 3 times that same section, and then we can going to do the actual, power. So we chant this 3 times Tibetan. Sa ve lama de ye opa me zor wa de so sa la po wa jong sen je lo je zen de bu ma tai de jian xuan gong tou dan ye me you za wei la ma de ye o ba me zor wa de zo sa la bo wa jong sen je lo je zen de bu ma tai de jian xuan gong tou dan ye me you sa wei la ma de ye o ba me zor wa de zo sa la bo wa jong sen je lo je zen de bu ma tai de jian xuan gong tou dan ye me you. Please sit the 7-point posture. Visualize your body is Vajrayogini. Visualize the center channel. Visualize the bindu. Visualize the Buddha Amitabha. Now we're going to do 3 times a heck together. Hey. 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 Go. Hey. 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 Go. Hey. 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 Go. Ru Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Ru Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Ru Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. The Ru Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Chant Tibetan. Tsawe lama deshe oba me zorwa indezo salam bowa injong senje love ye zende pema tai de jin shen gong to da ye me yo za we la ma de je o ba me zor wa de zo salam bo wa yong sen je lo je zen de bu ma tai de jin yin go to da ye me yo za we la ma de je o ba me zor wa de zo salam bo wa yong sen je lo meditate. Visualize our body is the Vajrayogini form body. Visualize the center channel. Visualize the Bindu consciousness. Visualize the Buddha Amitabha on your crown. Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessing, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Guru Tathagata Amitabha, I supplicate you to develop in me the profound part of power. By your blessings, as soon as I live this life, may I become inseparable from the mind of a protector in Sukhavati. Save lama deshe oba me zorwa dezo salam boa yo senje lo je zende bema tai de je yengo to da ye me jo sa ve la ma de ye o ba me zo wa de zo sa la bo wa jo sen ye lo ye zen de bu ma tai de jin yin go to da ye me yu. Visualize. Visualize the Vajrayogini form. Visualize the center channel. Visualize Bindu. Visualize Buddha Amitabha on your crown. Now visualize the Amitabha is dissolved into your body and inseparable your consciousness. Your consciousness is transformed to the Buddha Amitabha. Page 72. The red guru descends down to your heart center, is inseparable from your consciousness and abides in Amitabhas. Like emanates and the centers with the sister vector life, essence of samsara and nirvana. In order to stop the transference of your consciousness, seal your crown, aperture with cross Vajra. Chewe lamai marzo nyingwe che nam she yerme zele ngo yo o zon chon de gor de se jo de che won po me ja ran je da Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa. O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa. O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa. O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa is O Amarana Zeventa. Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda. Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana. No Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is. No Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is Amarana Zavenda is. By this virtue, as soon as we leave our impure bodies, may myself and others wonders have an easy birth in Sukhavati, the blissful land. Tibetan Gewan Diye Da Yendro Meza Lele Pumada Dewa Jinje Jingamsa Kaze Mebar Page 75. Long level prayer. Crown of the Shakyas, kind unknown friend to all beings. 17 great Pentrata, Telopa and Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Gambopa, Jiktin Sungo, and the lineage heirs. Please bestow good fortune and auspiciousness, transcending Lord Protector Amitabha, who grants supreme life, everlasting, stable, and unchanging, and who delivers from untimely death. One who merely hears your name or thinks of you, please bestow good fortune and auspiciousness. with displaying living in the higher train of morality, with great compassion that appears as the glory of those to be tamed, and without ever parting, devoid of all grasping from Mahamudura's natural state. Medun Tenpa Nyama, son of the teachings, may your life remain firm. Go to Tibetan. Mandin Rove Salai Shai Jeto Pen Jo Jub Den De Lo Nari Shak Mar Me Ta Son Je Ten Son Gon Je Ba Rim Zo Nam Je Ge Le Sor Kan Gen Zen Yen Ye La Den Be Mo Te Me Nga Be Nam Ne Chan Ze De Ta De Men Jur Se Yen Jo Jen Be Jom De Won Sen Gong Be Ge Le Sor Nam Da Chem Je La Be De War Ju Toi Je Zang Bo De Ze Par De Xiang Ze Me Sa Jin Nyu Me Rang O Jong Me Do Den Be Nye Ma Shab Den Zo 69. English first. In the center is the Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. To his right is Chenrezig, the Lord of great compassion, and to his left is the Bodhisattva Vajrayogini, the Lord of great power. They are surrounded by an inconceivable example of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Extraordinary, limitless peace and happiness is the Buddha filled core, blessed and dawned. When all beings and are passed from this life, may we be born there unhindered by another samsaric birth. Once born there, may we behold the face of Amitabha, boundless light. By the power of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, bless us that may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Diyata Pensandaya Awam Bodhanai Zohai Maho Ngom Sarasan Jenangwa Taye Daye Sejo Toje Chenbodan Yonde Sembande Jin Tonam Lai Sanje Sanse Pamin Kor Ji Kor De Jeng Om Sarabade Me Baye De Wa Jin Ye Sa Ve Yen Gam De Da Yen De Ne Zen Bi Je Ma Dai Je Wa Yin Je Par Mai Chu Bai Ru De Re Je Ne Nan De Xia Ran Dong Yun De Ge Dai Ge Mo Lan Da Ban De So Je San Sen Dan Je Je Ge Min Zhe Bar Sin Je La De So De Ya Da Ben Zang De Ya Ra Wang Bo De Na Ye So 76. Urjincham, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gambopa, Pamotopa, and Lord Digompa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve emanations. By defeating all enemies, confession. May all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where this unborn may they rise, where this born may not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities suffer far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the Tirikayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the invisible Sangha, order may the merit I bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by innate rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. By the teaching of the great Digompa Ranashiri, whose emanation, Lord of Dharma, Master of Interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om.
Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Make a quick message first. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Just a quick message. Kwang wants to say something. Someone lost a jacket, a maroon-colored, llama-colored jacket with a zipper, and it's very dear to them. It was left over there somewhere. If someone has found that, if you please let me know. Would be very good. Thank you very much. Kwang?
Tomorrow, as usual, tomorrow is Sunday. Okay, so tomorrow Sunday, we cannot park your car in the church parking lot. So we were trying to manage, you come early, we're trying to squeeze everyone coming in our temple and far in the back as many as possible. So if you wish that you can park, across the street like Zion Drive, along with the gas station, I think it's all possible too. But again, please do not park your car in the church parking tomorrow. But as usual, for next retreat, for next weekend, you all the way can park on Friday and Saturday, not Sunday because that's service day. But anyway, come early. We're trying to squeeze you in as many as possible. We find a way. Okay, thank you very much, and hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful evening. And get ready to start tomorrow again. Bye-bye. Tomorrow we start at 10 o'clock. And normally Rinpoche will come down here at 9:45. He's waiting for you all, okay? So come early. Thank you.